Hello everyone, and welcome back to another cartography lecture video. And in this lecture video, I want to continue our discussion on generalization by talking about two more approaches to generalizing, and that is aggregation and amalgamation. So we're talking about aggregation and amalgamation. Aggregation and amalgamation. And it's sensible to put these two things together because they really sort of address the same underlying problem, which goes back to that idea of coalescence and congestion, right? When we go from a large scale to a small scale, we start to put a lot of features in a very small area. And what aggregation and amalgamation try to do is to simply start combining things. So in the case of aggregation, it's typically going to be when we start to combine points. And in the case of amalgamation, it's when we start to combine polygons. Right? And so again, the idea here with aggregation, so if we say, for example, we had our at large scale, right, we have some points. Right? And then as we transition to small scale, right, suddenly, right, if we were to keep, right, those points, it might look like, right, that's very congested. So if we run aggregation on this, right, what we would end up doing is instead of having a bunch of different points, right, we would end up creating a polygon, right, that represents, right, the points. So again, the idea with aggregation here is that we convert points to polygon to reduce clutter and congestion, right? So that's aggregation. Now let's imagine we have a similar issue at a large scale where we have, instead of points, right, we have, say, maybe two islands, right? And these islands at a large scale have a very small body of water, right? You could think of this as maybe the English Channel or something like that, right? And as we zoom out to a small scale, right, suddenly, going back to that idea of coalescence, right, let me try to kind of keep things relatively spatially accurate here, right? Suddenly, right, that distance, they're on top of each other, right? So what amalgamation does is amalgamation says, rather than having them be separate, right, let's go ahead and combine them into a single new polygon. Right, so you'll notice here that specifically there is no gap, right? This gap here caused coalescence here is now gone, right? So to sort of reiterate that, what amalgamation does is it combines, right? It combines neighboring polygons together, right? So that's what amalgamation does, is it takes polygons where you would typically have coalescence because there just isn't a lot of real world distance in the large scale, and it combines them together into a single polygon to, again, try to reduce that coalescence. So similar approaches here. The big difference is aggregation deals mostly with points. Amalgamation deals mostly with polygons. So hopefully that makes sense. And as always, if you have any questions, please reach out. Thank you.